Hello, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Hello, good evening.
Hello. All right, thank you all for joining. I think just a minute away from starting, so let's be fair to everyone so we can start right on time. Thank you for joining. And also, just to let you know, this meeting is being recorded because we need this training session to be available for those who are not able to make it today. I hope that is okay. All right, looks like we may have some network issues, so please make sure your network is on point so you don't lose anything. Okay. All right, just give me 1 second, okay, please. All right, thank you for your patience. All right, so we will go ahead and start right away. Let me share my screen, then we take it from there. All right, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're just going to start right away. So this training program is being organized by Support4Cloud. So Support4Cloud is a cloud-based staffing and consulting agency. And we are going to get to know the reason why we are organizing such free trainings. Obviously, I got a lot of people asking me how much is the training, etc. But you guys should get to understand as we proceed. Yeah, so that's the website. So the website is support4cloud.com. You are free to visit us and get to learn more about us. So in addition to Google technologies, we also provide services in the area of M365. M365 is Microsoft Office 365. So that's not the focus for today, but for those who don't know, M365 is a Microsoft-based cloud technology. All right, so purpose for this training. So we've realized that there's been a shortage of experts in this area. Companies continue to look for staffing needs to fill this gap. So we as a company, we've taken this upon ourselves to provide free training to individuals who are interested. And also, if the person is able to go through the basic training and go through the advanced training, we will help you with the certification and also help you to find jobs, especially for those in the United States. For those who are outside, yes, it's possible that there may be an opportunity where if only you are certified, we may be able to engage you based on the client's approval, and you may be able to work remotely. So it's not like a straightforward process, but that's how it works. Yep. So like I said, training and assigning people to projects and other staffing opportunities, and help you go through the GWS Cloud Collaboration Training Certification, And this one is only applicable if you are interested in proceeding with the advanced training, and terms and conditions apply because the advanced training involves a lot of effort. So if you are not interested in proceeding, then there is no like point in you engaging us. So those who are interested after this one for the advance, you have to contact us, then we plan accordingly. All right, so GWS certification resource and guide, that's the link. After this training, a copy of this document will be shared with all the participants, so you have access to all these things. And I can paste this in the chat for you to, have a look at it, or maybe after the training, you can visit the website. All the same, I'm going to send this to you. All right. So these are some of the sample GWS job titles. You can have Google Workspace Administrator, Google Workspace Engineer, Google Workspace Migration Engineer, Google Workspace Architect. So as beginners, you are more likely to start from an administrator level, an engineer level, or maybe a support level, if you are a beginner in this space. All right, so for salaries, I would say you should do your own research and find out how much people or companies are paying for such positions. Salary depends on location. In the US, the entry level can make at least $70,000 a year for entry level positions as support and administrators. Now, these are some sample jobs. So if you click on it, it takes you here, it tells you the job description, like senior collaboration engineer, Google Workspace, the job is there, and all these things that you see here, that is what we are going to learn. Yep, that's what we're going to learn. Then let me give you another sample one from DICE. So this one is from DICE, Google Workspace, Gmail, or Exchange product owner. This amount they are paying. They say work from home available, travel not required. And, all this content is what we are about to learn. Good. All right, so sample jobs. Now, benefits of working on GWS and Google Cloud technology. Good salary, remote working flexibility. Google is a tech giant, so no need to worry about technology going out of date. Google has been a tech giant for a long time. All you have to do is just keep up with the changes. I can not highlight enough about learning, learn. Okay, so that's it. Google is not going anywhere. They've been a global giant for a long time. And in fact, Google has taken control over various aspects of our lives. So they are staying. So don't worry about the technology going out of date. Let me give you a good example. Those of you who know BlackBerry or Kodak, these are companies who started a few years ago, but some of them are no more. Why? Because along the line, they failed to meet the demand or maybe update the way they work, their business process, etc. But Google, they are not going anywhere. So yeah, this should have been from the beginning of the slide, but no worries, we can always go back. Yeah, so a little about me. Graduate from the University of Ghana with a bachelor's degree in computer science and maths, and also graduate from Bellevue University with a master's degree in information systems. I'm MCSE certified from Microsoft. I'm also GWS certified from Google. Microsoft partner with Support4Cloud LLC, and also a Google certified cloud partner. All right, I'm also the founder of Shika 365 LLC and Shika 365 Ghana Limited. So It's a shipping and procurement company, and you're always free to go there and learn a little bit about this company too. That's the website, and you can always go there and take a look at us. All right, so how many people do we have here? Because we may not have enough time to do this. I wanted us to, let me see how many people we have on this call. You know, it would be nice to know a little bit about you. So let me see, I think we have about, is it 9 people? If not, I think we just have to proceed. All right, I think because of the number, we don't have time, but I'm sure at the right time, we may be able to introduce ourselves. So let's proceed. So for today, this was a training. I should have updated this, but no worries, it's the same content. So today, for the basic training, these are the content we are going to look at. Introduction to GCP, GWS, what is GWS? GWS as a cloud career path, choosing the right GWS plan or licensing model, GWS setup, domain and MX record. All these topics will be explored today. Now, so one may ask, what is Google Workspace or GWS? So you'll be seeing me using the term GWS a lot. It means Google Workspace. So formerly, the name they gave it was Google Apps. Then it changed to G Suite and now GWS. Now, Google Web Service is a complete topic. So please don't confuse yourself, unless maybe you are also working on Google Web Service. For today, the content is about Google Workspace. All right. Now, GCP. There is a relationship between GCP and Google Workspace, and we are going to learn that. Some of the acronyms that I'll need you to keep note is GCP, it means Google Cloud Platform. Org unit means organizational units. MX means mail exchanger. And we are going to understand all these things. All right, so what is GCP? We have to go through the theory so that you understand the concept. Now, GCP offers compute services, storage, networking, big data. So you remember back in the days, if you need to do a computing job or something, you may have to get a computer locally by you or the server, etc. Now, for example, currently with the technologies available, you can buy a computing service. So let's say you have your laptop at home. You can buy another virtual laptop somewhere. And there are so many cloud providers doing that. We have VMware, we have Google, we have Microsoft. So from your local laptop at home or office, you can buy another machine sitting somewhere, being hosted by Google or Microsoft or VMware. You can log into that computer. You can do everything that you want to do on that virtual computer. Okay, so that is cloud. Okay, so even though you have an entry level or an entry point where you need to access the destination, that destination is sitting somewhere and is being hosted by another company. So when we talk about the cloud, is the ability of end users to be able to leverage technology without having to install physical infrastructure. Okay, in the layman terms, that's how best I can explain it. So, for example, you need to buy a server for your company, and you don't have time to, install the server, get a physical component, and all those things. You can just go to Google and say, "Hey, I want to buy a server from you." All right. Now, many years ago, email was the same. before a company can set up email, they have to get servers locally installed and go through a whole lot of headache. So Google and other cloud providers, they've been able to come out with a seamless way of getting these things done. So right now, if you're a company and you want to have an email for your employees, you don't have to go through the headache of setting up servers on premise or at your location, getting engineers to do data backup and all those things. That's a lot of work. So cloud technology has, simplified all these things for us. So over here, you see terms like compute, storage, networking. So for a storage example will be, you see how you guys, those with Google account, you see how you're able to upload content into your Google Drive and pictures and all those things. So all these pictures that you are uploading is being managed and stored by Google or whichever platform that you use to store your data. They are all sitting on a computer somewhere and is being managed by maybe Google data centers or whatever platform you use to store your information. Apart from that, we have networking, big data, and all those things. But for today, our focus is on email, which is GWS. All right, so these are references you can always visit and get to learn more. Oh, okay, they've taken the link. All right, then for if you want to learn more about the Google Cloud services, you can come to this website. You click on solutions or products. Let's say solution. These are the solutions that they provide. You see, we have databases, data cloud, all these things, but this is not our focus today. These are some of the products that they offer: compute engine, storage, etc., all those things. All right. Good. So what is GWS? So Google Workspace is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools, software product developed and marketed by Google. It was first launched in 2006 as Google Apps for your domain and rebranded as G Suite in 2016. Okay. Now, if those with a Google account, you realize when you log into your email, you have other things like Google Drive, Hangout, Docs. Okay. All these things comes with Google Workspace. So our goal today is that you are going to learn how you as an administrator or an engineer will set up this for your company. You'll be the engineer behind the scene. When you have a new employee on board, you create an email address for this employee. You give them their username and password. Now, the difference between you and the free Google account is, a free Google account is where somebody can just go online and create a free Google account. But companies always use, for the most part, they will use a proprietary domain name. So that is where you come in and customize the setup according to the company's demand. All right. Now, what's the relationship between Google Workspace and Google Cloud Platform? Let me tell you something. All those of you with a free Google account, even though Google is providing you for free, they are also selling your information on their cloud platforms, and other services are taking advantage of that. For example, if you have a Google account, it is connected to Google Maps, it is connected to Google Search, it is connected to a whole lot of things, and I can do a quick demo there over you. So this is my Google account, and you realize that over here we have so many services. Okay, for example, you have Gmail, Search, Maps, right? You have all these things. as part of this Google account that I have. This is a free Google account that I have. And you have photos, chat, shopping, meet, docs. All these are services that comes with the account. All right, this is the free version. So for our training, your focus is not on the free version. You are preparing an environment for your company that will have a custom domain. So for example, when your users are logging in, they will log in maybe Tony at maybe domain.com, and that domain refers to your company domain. So going back to what I was saying earlier on, all the free Google accounts that people have set up and they think is free, what Google is doing is they collect all this information, they make the data available behind their cloud infrastructure. That is why Google Maps, for example, if you're a company that you want to take advantage of Google Maps, Google can sell you that information and you can integrate it into your application. That's not our goal for today, but I just want to give you an overview of how the whole thing is. Now, so the relationship between the Google Cloud and the GWS is anytime you create a GWS account or a company account for, let's say, a new employee, okay, the data automatically syncs to the Google Cloud infrastructure. And as we proceed, it will make more sense to you. So let me not just go there right now. Okay, now we are going to proceed. Choosing the right GWS plan. Good. Now, this is the link to that resource. And for today's demonstration, we are privileged to have a domain from one of our attendees. We'll be using her domain and for all the setup process. So I'm going to this link. Now we are jumping into the demo. I'll pause for a few seconds so that if you have questions, I'll just take 2 questions. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask before we proceed. Are we good? All right. So you see how it says choosing your Google Workspace pricing. Try it for free for 14 days. You can try, okay, but it will require a credit or debit card. Every plan includes Gmail, Drive, Meet, Calendar, all these services, every plan, okay? But as you proceed with the higher tiers, you get more storage allowance. So for example, this is the basic one. You see how it says 100 participant video meetings, 30 gigabyte storage, security and management, SANA control, right? So the only difference is between this and that is you see over here we have 150 participants and 2 terabyte cloud storage. Then for the 18 one, you see then it goes on and on. And if you want the enterprise one, you have to contact Google for them to, then you strike a deal. All right, for this demo, we will be using the basic starter. We'll be using the basic starter. Now, depending on the plan that you choose, you may not see certain features. So anyway, let's do the business standard because Google always allows you to downgrade if you want. Okay, yeah. So we'll start with the we'll do with the business setup. Now, it requires a business name. So we are going to use a fictitious Google business name. And let me come out with something. Yeah, Abby, what will you like for a business name for our demonstration today?
We can use Rosa, Randy, or Emmanuel.
Oh, no. Come out with something more business.
Criterion.
Any business name that you can think of.
Criterion.
Criterion, okay. Can you Type that in the chat for me, please. All right, thank you.
You can add LLC to it or whatever you want to add.
Okay, all right. So that is the business name. We are going to use Citerion LLC as the business name, and number of employees. So as an engineer or administrator, you may have already discussed this with your stakeholders, etc. Then you come and choose the right number of people. Mind you, they charge you per user. So if you are choosing the $6 or $12 monthly, it means for every user that you add, that is how much they pay per month. All right. So let's choose just you, then put United States, then go next. All right. So for this, we're going to use a name like, today I'm picking on Abiola for this demo. Then Abiola, could you please give us any free Gmail account if you have one? You can ping to me on WhatsApp. All right, thank you. Okay, so the reason why they require, it does not necessarily need to be a Gmail account, but they need a backup account just in case of anything. They will send the verification code to that account.
Can we use another email address?
You want to change?
Yes, I want to change.
All right. Let me go back. Yeah. Send it to me, please. All right. Thank you. All right, so you see how it says, does your business have a domain? Okay, so in this case, because it's a company, yeah, we want to use our own company domain. This is not a free one, this is a paid one. So I'll say, yes, I have one I can use. Now, if you say no, Google will give you the option to buy a domain from them. But for this demonstration, we already have a domain that we are going to use, all right? In the real world scenario, you may now have your domains being hosted by Google. Your domains from the company may be hosted by companies like Godaddy or Netfirms, all those domain companies. You know, when I say a domain, I hope you guys understand. Okay, a domain like a website domain, etc. So a domain is a name that you use to identify a resource on the internet. So we want to say, yes, I have one I can use. All right. So the domain name for this demo is this one. Click next. All right. It says use this domain to set up the account. Email sent to this domain won't be affected until you set up email with this account. That's fine. We're going to go there later. You see how you say, I want to buy a new domain. You have the option to buy it directly from Google. But if you already have an existing domain from another provider, that's fine. You can, Google will allow you to set up. And that is what we are looking at today. So yeah, we can click OK for that. That's okay. Now, so as an administrator, they will need the first account that you have to use to log into your workspace. So for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use the account admin, okay? So in this case, admin at this domain will be the main administrator for this account. And let me choose a password. All right, one moment. Then you just check this box. You agree. Then Google will proceed with setting up the process for you. Yeah, it may take some time, just be patient. All right. So over here, that is when Google will tell you, okay, now we need your money. Okay, we need your money. So at this point, we're going to enter credit card details, but let me show you something. If you want to do this just to learn, okay, you don't have to choose the $12 per month, per user per month option. You can always choose the basic one. The only difference is that you pay less, but you may not be able to see some advanced features. And also, if you just want to set up and have access to the tenant and not pay everything monthly, there is a way out. Okay, there is a way out, and I'll show you. Please ping me or remind me to show you. You can remove all your licenses and still have access to the tenant and pay nothing at the end of the month. Just so maybe you can always log in, check new features, play around, and give yourself some learning. All right. So now Google is asking us to input some card information. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'll enter the information and I'll be right back. All right. So you can go get your coffee. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we've entered the credit card information. Then after that, we came to this screen. Okay, now this place that you see is the admin console. This space is only visible to the administrator or the engineer for the company who manages the email or the GWS tenant. You see how we have the option to create new users and everything. We are going to get to all that, okay? Now, because we want to use a custom domain, which is Citarian.com, there is a process called verification. We will go through the process of verifying, meaning Google want to verify if this domain belongs to us. Otherwise, people can just pick any domain and try to set up an account with. I hope it makes sense. All right. So we are going to activate this domain. All right. You see how Google says, okay, we've detected that this domain is being hosted by Godaddy.com. Google is very smart. So they are able to pull data from all areas. Now, we have two options to activate this domain or verify ownership of this domain. We can sign in to activate. So in this case, there is an authentication that happens between Google and Godaddy that you can sign in from here, but it will navigate you to Godaddy website to log in. Then it will redirect you back to Google. But I want it to be more complex. So we are not going to use this one because that is very easy. We want to use the manual verification method because as an engineer, when you go on site, you may end up having to integrate domains from various platforms into your Google GWS ecosystem. So you have to know how to do that manually. So we are going to use this verification method to verify ownership of that domain. Okay, we don't want to do automatic activation. We want to do manual activation. All right, you see how it has given us steps. When it comes to administration or engineering work, you have to be very detail oriented. You have to take documentation and guidance seriously. Otherwise, you are going to mess up. It says, in a new type, sign in to GoDaddy from the domains page, blah, 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 blah. And we are going to look at all that. All right. 1 second, please. All right. So we are In a very short time, we are going to log into GoDaddy and follow these instructions. So let me go to godaddy.com. All right, so we are going to use the domain citarian.com, and I'm going to do this in collaboration with one of our participants. So at this time, I'll ask Abby to share her screen and log into, first of all, go to godaddy.com. Then after logging in, we are going to share your screen and I'll show you exactly what needs to be updated. So please let me know after logging into GoDaddy.
1 second, please.
Yep. Yeah, so she's going to log into GoDaddy. Then after going to GoDaddy, we are going to go to the DNS section. Then we are going to update this record. Now, domains have properties. Okay, domains have properties. So for example, this record that we are going to change is called the MX property. Okay, now every domain has name server property, MX record property, CNAME property. There are so many. So there is a website called MX Tools. If you go to MX Tools, and let's say you want to find out which maybe company is hosting the email for a particular company. So let's say, let me go to shika365.com. Okay, I know that this company, their email provider is shika365.com. So to check the email record, I'll do what we call MX Lookup. So you see how it tells me that your host for MX is Google. All right. So that is Shika365. Now let's think of any company. Let's say, who can give us a good example? Any company, so that we check who is their email provider.
Can we get like Alibaba.com?
All right. I'm sure for these people, I'm sure they have their own email server, but let's check anyway. Alibaba.com. Yep. That's a very big company. So these companies, yeah, so Alibaba, they have their own email technology, right?
Okay.
So this is what is pointing to right now. Yep. And so this host name is whoever is providing email service for them. So let's try, let me say, is it Access? One of the banks, Zenith, let's say Zenith.
Okay.
Is it zenith.com or zenith.com.gh? I think the domain name may be wrong. Who can think of any bank locally, either Access or Zenith, so that we check them? Say Barclays. Okay, but also just to let you know,
Barclays is now Access. APSA. Barclays is now APSA.
Okay, APSA, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is their email provider. Okay, now very big companies, right? Sometimes do not make it obvious whether it is Google or Microsoft. So they use some other host name just to hide the actual email provider of their domain. Okay, so over here like this, you see Minecast, whatever. Maybe Minecast is just a host name, but their email is being managed by maybe Microsoft or Google, etc. We used a very good example the last time. I think, is it Access PLC or something? Access.com or something. Okay. Whoever this company is, they are also using Google. Okay. Yeah, anyway, that's just to demo to you. And also, apart from that, there are other records that you can check. So for example, you can check a record like who is lookup. So who is lookup, it tells you who owns the domain. Okay. Let's do a quick lookup and you understand what I'm talking about. You see how it says registrar is Godaddy, name server. Okay, it gives you information. Now, this information are public. So if you see this thing here, it's normal. Yeah, it's normal. Okay, so this is what it gives for APSA. So registrar is Network Solution LLC, their name server, everything. So as an architect or engineer or administrator, when you have this information handy, it really helps. So today our focus will just be on the MX, okay? All right, but just to let you know that domains have properties. They have properties. All right, Abby, how far? Are you ready to share your screen now?
Yes, I'm ready to share my screen.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, then Abby will also share a screen. All right, good. So this domain, Citarian.com, is being hosted by Godaddy. Okay, so for today, Google is telling us that we need to go to Godaddy to input the records from the Google screen. Okay, so that Google will know that, okay, yes, you really own this domain. All right, so for this demo, please click on account settings. All right, okay, all right. Come to your right and click on to your top right where you have Abiola. Click on the down arrow and go to My Products. Okay, come down, let's look for your domain. All right, good. Then click on the 3 dots. Yeah. Then go to Manage DNS. Okay, come down. Good. So for today, we are going to add record, what we call MX record. So Abby, please open a new tab in your browser. Yep, and you are going to log in to your super admin account that we are trying to set up. So go to google.com. Then you need to sign in. So you probably may need to add a secondary account to your right. So click on the A on your right. Then click on add account. Yeah. Yes. Then put in admin@citarian.com. Then input the password. Okay, and accept. Good. Then go to the top right where you have the dot. No, come down, please. Yeah, click on that and come down. Make sure you are in the admin account. So click on the A. Yeah. And okay, then click on manage your Google account. I just want to make sure you're on the same account. Okay. All right. Click on the dots on your right and come down, see for, let's look for administrator. Okay. In your browser, type admin.google.com. Yeah, click there and type admin.google.com. Yeah, and press enter. So we want to log in with the other account. Okay, you know what, let's do this. Let's open in incognito mode. So click on the top, yeah, and select incognito, yeah. And go to google.com so that it will create a brand new session for you. Then sign in with the Citerion account. All right, good. Yep, so click on verify domain. Good, and click on activate. Then come down, we want to do the manual process. So click on verification method. Yeah. And select manual. Then come down. Then go to the next. And come down, please. All right, go to the top, please. Come down again. Let's take one record at a time. Please come. Yeah, so the first record, the priority is 1, the host is @ so just copy the record name, ASPS, yeah, copy it, yeah. Even when you click there, Google will copy it automatically. Yeah, so it's copied. Then go to Godaddy. So you have Godaddy open in the other section, yeah. Yeah, that one, yes. No, left. Good. All right, so we are going to add our first MX record, okay? So this is Godaddy, this is how it looks like. If you have a different domain hosting provider, yours may be different. So please click on add on the top. Okay, then you select type. So go to MX. Then the name will be @. Then the priority is 1. Then the value, you paste what you copied. Then over here, select the drop down and I'll explain. Select half an hour. So TTL means time to leave, okay? Abby, please click on add record and I'll explain. Very good. So time to leave is when you make an update on DNS, you have to indicate how long you want to wait for propagation to take place. So it means time to live. So we've indicated half an hour, but normally these things are very fast. It propagates across the internet, and GoDaddy will update this information. Google will just pick it up ASAP. All right, so Abby, please proceed with the second record addition. So go back to Google and copy. So this time the priority is 5. Yep. And go to GoDaddy. Yep, and use half an hour and add. Good. Go to the next one. It's 5. Okay. The previous one, did you put the priority as 10?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now here you put the @ sign, the name. Yeah. Okay. Then I think you are done with those 5 records. So let's go down to the last instruction. It says, get your verification code. So first, it's the same process. Just copy the verification code. Click there. Good. Then you go to that place. So it's the same MX type. So click add. The priority, let's go back and check the priority they gave. I believe it's 5. Set the priority 15. Yeah, 15 for the last record. Good, and add. Yeah, so what Abby just did is helping Google to verify that you own the domain, because if you don't own the domain, there is no way you have access to the DNS part of the domain. I hope it makes sense. All right. Abby, please go back to the Google page. All right. So Abby, thank you for helping us with adding those records in GoDaddy. So now, normally, if you after adding them in your domain hosting provider, you have to give it a minute or 2, but I think it should be there right now. So click on Activate Gmail. Yeah. So now Google will be trying to talk to GoDaddy to verify the existence of these records on the GoDaddy side. And if we get success, it will be displayed here. You see how it says verifying your MS record for Citerion.com. There's a little bit of patience. Okay, go to the top. Let's see the message. Good, great job. MX records updated. So come down and click on finish. So this concept is very, very important, that you understand the relationship between using the custom domain and MS record is very, very, very important. So we've been able to go through this process. Then here we are ready to set up new users. So Abby, click on create. Yep, come down and click continue. So Abby is an administrator. She now has the ability to create account for new employees in the company, right? So you can click on add another user. Yep. So the first user which was used to create the account is always there. All right. So go ahead and choose a name and create a user account. So the email format, it really depends on you and your company. So this is optional. You don't have to put anything. All right. Then you click on save. All right. Then you always have to give your user the username and password. So click continue. And come down. This is not what I'm looking for. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Click on, go to the top left where you have the dashes. Left. Yeah, on the top where you have, yeah, click on that. And go to directory. And go to users. Okay. So I'm not sure why it should have given you the option to share the password directly with the user or get a password. So click on the second account that you just created. Now click on the name. Yeah, the name. All right. So you can reset the password. So click on reset password. So you can generate a password or you can create a password for the user. So for this one, just generate a password for the user. Okay, so you can copy this password. If we have the user on the line, the person can log in with this password and confirm to us that, yes, he's been able to log into the Google account. So you have the option of emailing the password. So you can email to maybe the person's manager, or if the person has a different account, you can email a password to the person. So yeah, Abby, you can do that on the side, then let the person confirm to us that he or she has been able to log into the account. Yeah, so that is how we create.
Is it okay if I stop sharing my screen so I could do that?
Yeah, you can stop sharing now. I'm taking over. We are almost done. Yeah, so, yep, I'm going to share my screen again. All right, so we've been able to choose a GWS plan, and that is the resource on how to choose a GWS plan. We've done that. Now, we connected our domain to our GWS plan, and we've updated the MS record, and at the same time, we verified the domain ownership and validation. Now, with the new setup, we'll look at the GWS services in our new tenant or the admin console. All right, so this is the admin console. We've already gone through that. The account is good. Now Remember, Abby created this one. This one is the first account that we created during the setup, and this one is the second account that Abby created. So to create an account, you just have to come directory, you click users, then you click groups. Oh, sorry, users. Then you click on add user. Okay, you go through the process. It will ask you to create a password, etc. You see how it says this user will be assigned a Google Workspace Business Standard License, $12 USD per month. So please take note. All right. Then also, I told you I was going to show you on how to either upgrade or downgrade. Now, if you come to account and account settings, and you go to account management, this is to delete account. This is not what I'm looking for. Billing, subscriptions, yeah. Okay. You see how it says add or upgrade subscription. You need to click on this one. Then you see how here you say upgrade or downgrade service. You click here. Okay. Then you can change from the $12 one to maybe the $6 one, depending on what you want to use for. Now, if you don't want to pay, but you still want to keep the tenant, what you have to do is to come here, go to cloud identity, then you activate the cloud identity free. When you activate the cloud identity, and I'm going to do that for this account, it's free. Good. The cloud identity, right? What it does is it synchronizes your user information over here. So if you have thousands of accounts over here, okay, it will synchronize to GCP. That is Google Cloud Platform. In Google Cloud Platform, we have a whole section called identity management. So as a Google Workspace administrator, it is like, it makes sense for you to do that synchronization because maybe your company may want to use the data in the cloud to do other projects, right? So just for you to know. Now that's about it. Then let's quickly go to what we call organizational units. Before going there, let me show you the services that we have. You see, we have apps, okay, Google Workspace. These are all the services that comes with this plan. All the apps that comes with this plan. We have Calendar, Cloud Search, Current, Gmail, Drive and Docs, Hangout, Google Meet, Google Groups for Business, Jamboard, Site, etc. A whole lot of service. Now, before I go to organizational unit, let me just, since I'm already here, let me go to groups. You see here we have groups. When you click on groups, groups allows you to create a mailing list. Let's say you have 1,000 people in your organization. You want to send email to 1,000 people. You don't have to do this one by one. You can create a distribution list and add all the 1,000 people into that distribution list. So let's say I want to create a group and make it all employees. So I give it a group name, all employees at Criterion.com. Okay, a group is just a group. It's just a mailing list. So there is no password or anything. So you create it. Okay, and there are settings that you can apply to the group. Now, note, you can allow people outside of your domain to email this group, or you can restrict it to only internal people. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I can choose, you see how you say contact owners, view members, or you have the option, publish posts, if you select publish post, you select external, it means the group is accessible externally. All right. So this is just for the demo. You also have the option to allow members outside of your organization to join the group. All right. So let's just use this demonstration. Then I'll click done. Then if you go back to directory, you go to groups. Why is the group not showing? Users. Okay, let's see, add to groups. Okay, it's now showing. So you can go to the user profile, you click add to groups, then you add this user to this all employees. Then you click add. Okay, do the same thing. I can go to users, then I'll select the second user over here, then go to add to groups. You can, if you have multiple groups, you can search them. Then you click add. Then if you go to groups again, I don't know why this is not showing. It's maybe taking time to propagate, but it's there. Just that sometimes it will take a few minutes to do the propagation. But let me see. Start with all. Yeah, it will definitely show. Just that it's taking a few minutes to do the propagation. So if you go to the user, it will tell you which group that the user belongs to by going to the user profile. Yeah, you see how it says member of one group, all employees, right? Yeah, so the group is active, just that it's taking some time to show in the console, right? So if you have 1,000 employees, you can do a spreadsheet, then you can add all the 1,000 employees to this group. Then the email administrator of the company can email just one group to communicate things about the company to the group instead of putting individual emails in the two field. All right, good. With that being said, let me also quickly, I know we are out of time, but yeah, now there is something we call organizational units. So the org unit allows you to narrow down services. Okay, so maybe you can create an org unit which allows people access to, let's say, Google Meet. You can create an org unit which will restrict people from using other services. So for example, in the org unit, you can create create a new org unit, then you give it a name. So you say, let's say, Google Meet users only. So meaning maybe you want to restrict Google Meet to only a few set of users. Okay, so you create the org unit. All right, then this is how you do the setup. You want to restrict Google Meet to only these users. You have to come to apps, then you go to Google Meet, then you see how it says on for everyone. Okay, let's assume that you want to restrict to an org unit. You may have to come here and say off for everyone. All right, so when you click off for everyone, it means Google Meet is not available to everybody in your environment. You want to restrict it. So you come to Google Meet user only, then you click on. It's kind of tricky, but as you get familiar, you will know how the system works. It's very simple though. It's very simple. You just have to get hands-on to understand how your tenant is really set up here. Good. So you see, I have restricted Google Meet to only this org unit over here. It's called Google Meet user only. So it means when, let's say I come here, I go to user. If I want any user to be part, to have access to Google Meet, okay, it means this user, I have to add this user to that org unit. So I'll change the org unit of this user, because right now this user belongs to the root OU, which is Citerion LLC. Okay. If I change it and I add him to Google Meet user only, then he will get access to the Google Meet. But ideally, basically, this account, this admin account, which is this one over here, it should not have access to Google Meet. It should not have access to Google Meet. So I don't know if something changed on Google side, but it shouldn't. Possibly because maybe it's an admin, that's why it has Google Meet, but it shouldn't have access to this Google Meet service. And also likely that it may be due to propagation, because if you check what we have based on the setup, Google Meet is not available to the Citerion LLC, this one. They don't have access to Google Meet. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so we've looked at how to set up the tenants in our new tenant and the admin console. We've created a user and managed password, creating a distribution list and adding members. We've created all org units and given them specific services. So we've taken a look at that. So these are the advanced topics. So the advanced topics, it looks at things like SPF, the king, the mark, that is more on security. Then we have synchronization, data migration, single sign-on, a whole lot. So that is why we do the first free demo. Then based on the free demo, if the person is interested, you reach out to us, then we take it from there. I know I've taken a lot of your time, but unfortunately, it's quite a process to go through all the scenarios involved. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of our training, basic training today. Unfortunately, the user that we created, she's able to log in and she can access Google services. So we as administrators, we've been able to set up a brand new account for this user and to check whether the user login, right? There are so many ways to check. You come here, you click on the user, you see how it says last sign in a minute ago, okay, created on January 8, 2022, right? So the user has been able to sign in. And with Google, there are so many things you can do. You can go here, if you want to search where the user logging from, you have to come into the reporting parts. Where is Google Reports? Interesting. Okay. Okay, that reminds me. Now, because it's a brand new account, it will take time for us to see the reporting, because the reporting is going to tell us where the user logging from, the IP address, the country, and everything, right? So let me see. Should be, yeah, there we go, reporting. Then audits. Then let's say login. Okay, so you see, it means when she logged in for the first time, Google told her to change the password. Now this IP address, just by looking at this IP address, it tells me, it will tell me where the IP address is coming from. So you can just go to Google and you can search for IP address lookup, so that it tells you, but definitely that IP range is not in the US. So you go to one of these websites, you input the IP address, you get IP details. Okay, so we see you. This is you. Okay, you are using MTN Nigeria. Okay, Kano State. All right. Okay. All right, all right. So I think I've been talking a lot. Maybe people have questions. I'll pause and I'll take a few questions. Questions, comments? Is it well understood? Everything is on point?
It's pretty straightforward. And I hope the next advanced training is something that we can afford. And what else again? Yeah, I think we are going to enroll in the advanced class. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the advanced training, we'll be sending out a form for you to fill if you are interested, and we'll look at the terms and conditions, and we take it from there. Yeah, so this is the basic training. This is the basic training. So at least you have the opportunity to think about it, whether it's something that you really want to consider or you are interested, and we take it from there. Yep. Any more questions, comments, please?
Well, I just joined in later. This is Edward. I joined in later, but I'm very much happy about what has happened. At least it has broadened my knowledge. And with constant training, I think I'll be very, very used to what is going on. And then later on, I see if I can join the advanced one. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, Edward. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Okay, anybody else? Okay.
Yeah, this is Rebecca. Also, I have much idea about, as at the moment, before I didn't have much idea about this thing, but thank God this class came on and I'm able to have an eye opener. But I think I need more. I need more than this. So we will talk back door and see how we can do.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. All right. So that means I'm a good trainer.
Very good trainer. Very, very good trainer.
Okay. So
yeah.
This is what I recommend you do. For those who are interested in the advanced training, my number one requirement is you have to set up your own tenant before you come to the advanced training. Otherwise, I'm not going to admit you. Yeah, that is the requirement. You register your own domain. You go through the same process that we just did today. And if you have questions, you can reach out to me. I'll help you. Then, we talk about the advanced training. So that is my requirement, because without having your own tenant to improve upon your skills, it will be very difficult. I hope it makes sense.
Very well.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I know we are over by 25 minutes, but I really appreciate you joining. And feel free to share our website to people, and we in case of any business opportunities and stuff, always feel free to recommend us. Very grateful to have you join this section. The recording will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and I will also make sure those who join will have a copy of the training decks. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night and a good evening to you all. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
you.